What is up, everyone? Brad here. And today I wanted to talk a little bit more specifically about a couple of topics that I'm seeing come up more and more again. And there's common misconceptions. So I really wanted to address the topic of why getting more patients won't end up saving your business. Now, full disclosure, mastering marketing, sales, and business development has been really a crucial component in my growth from a solo practice owner to having a seven-figure clinic. By providing me the ability to get new patients on demand, to be able to retain them and close them into, life-changing transformational plans of care, personal training programs, and so on. But, I really came to realize that getting more leads and clients, wasn't necessarily the most effective way for me to grow my business. And frankly, is really one of the most expensive and can be restricting profitability of your business if you're not doing it right. You don't have the right offers and that kind of thing. So to grow my business, I really need to shift my strategy from the focus of just getting and acquiring new patients to being able to look at a more kind of comprehensive approach. So the problem is that most practitioners believe that like getting new patients is really the key to solving all of their problems. And the reality is that there's a few main issues with that kind of mindset. For example, more patients equals more work, energy, stress, and like I mentioned, it's the most expensive way to grow your business. So unless you have an innovative way to differentiate and deliver your services, you're always going to be battling competition with other practice owners, other types of modalities, practitioners, icy hot patches, Tylenol, all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, that's going to leave you with less money to invest in your business, lifeline, the structures, the systems, the strategies to be able to do it. So I see this story play out time and time again. I've lived in Toronto where I had a large clinic, and I've seen hundreds of local businesses open and close. And it's really sad because people go in it with the right intentions of like providing a better life for their families, themselves, being their own boss, being able to treat and have really their own path to creating their business. But at the end of the day, they ended up going bankrupt or having to close or whatever it may be. And what's interesting to note is a lot of these people I've spoken to, and majority of the reasons why I would say high over 90% is as to the reason why that they failed. The reasons they give me are, well, the economy is bad. No one has money. There's not enough sales or too much competition. And while all of these things could be somewhat valid, wouldn't that also mean that all of their competitors and everyone else offering the same service would close up too? So the reality is that if a successful business is only tied to how well the economy is, and essentially like things that are going to get disrupted and so on, then in that case, no one would be in business. I wouldn't have been able to grow my solo practice, have success throughout COVID and that kind of thing, while all these other businesses are closing. And the real reason that failures are most likely is because 99% of business owners don't know how to effectively integrate structure, systems, and strategies into their business and be able to really design the patient journey and integrate the marketing, sales, retention, delivery of service, and so on. So one of the biggest problems related, to these structures is that most businesses only rely on a single marketing and revenue stream, which generally is word of mouth. That's their primary source. That's where they get majority of patients from. And the problem is that without having that systemized, you end up having to go through hoops of inconsistencies. You have roller coasters of patients coming on, getting discharged. Maybe you're connecting with a doctor for word of mouth. They give you like 5 patients 1 week, and then you don't get any for 3. So there's not a way that you're getting consistency in terms. So you get this income roller coaster, and it can create problems, especially if you end up having staff. So in today's marketplace, competition is ruthless. It's more aggressive than ever before. More and more people are taking on advertising because the barrier to entry is low. You can run Facebook ads like that, Google ads, whatever. But 20 years ago, you had to go into the radio and TV, and that was really, really expensive. So following the kind of the old school model of word of mouth and build it and they'll come kind of thing is really going to allow a lot of people to kind of struggle with profitability and soon, kind of burn out and make people obsolete. So really the solution is you need to have multi-channel way to grow your business. And one of the main solutions is you need to be able to understand like your patient journey, you understand the marketing, the message, what needs to happen at each stage. We're selling outcomes, but we're also selling the process to getting that outcome. And the more that we can communicate that in our messaging, our sales process, when we're actually delivering the service and retention, the better that that's going to end up being. So one thing that I've always really looked at is being able to optimize that journey and also create other revenue streams within the business, because that's an easy way to make sure that you're increasing the profitability. And one of the biggest examples I can say is if you're not doing some sort of maintenance plan of care, you're missing out huge on, number one, better patient results, because I haven't met a patient that hasn't, they came in for their initial issue, but they've got other goals or things that are going on. So maintenance plan of care is a great way to keep people moving forward, making sure that they're preventing issues, recurring income for yourself or staff and so on from there. So in terms of like this process of getting other streams of revenue, you also want to have other streams of ways to generate patients. So in my business, I shot a workshop a little while ago. If you guys haven't seen that, just type in Omnipresence Workshop. Essentially what that is where I go through how I have different streams of new patients coming, 12 different streams, paid, organic, and joint ventures in the community. So, I know that if one ever goes down, so for example, if you're only running Facebook ads and your account gets banned, I've seen this happen, you're completely wiped out. So what you want to be able to have is multiple streams. And I cover a lot more into that kind of video. Now, in terms of your profitability and increasing your revenues and kind of solving this problem, a big focus of your marketing should be shifted not just on new patient acquisition, but the actual retention of it. So, this is a process I've learned from, business mentors of mine. Jay Abraham talks a lot about it, where, you're looking at segments of your business and majority of it comes down to your retention. And part of this process of retention is spent on improving the patient success journey. Number one, defining it. Number two, understanding what steps needs to go through. And retention is really one of the most key components to profitability. And we all know it's 5 or 6 times more expensive to obtain a new patient than it is just to simply retain one, which is why maintenance plans of care generally are a really successful type of program in your business. So I really look at ways to be able to increase the patient experience in our communications to them. And then often just simply asking them, like, what can we do to better service them? NPS, a net promoter score, is a great way to be able to pull your patients. But I also like to do specific case studies, reward them, and get a finger on the pulse of like how we can improve the overall experience for them. So that way they're going to want to utilize the service, obviously get results, refer people to us, and so on. Often what I've found is that, there's a way to be able to find a new service or product to better help our clients get better, more superior results. For example, a lot of our clients, more performance-based, we're looking for ways to, improve their health outside of just MSK or personal training-based services. And a lot of them were going out and buying supplements. And what we found was that a lot of the supplements that they're getting were from like crappy Walmart and MLM based companies that their friends are, pitching them these crappy $90 products that are worth probably $3 of, Chinese crappy ingredients. Don't get me started on this stuff. So what we found was that a lot of people, they were going to buy specific products like magnesium or protein powders and, fish oil and that kind of stuff elsewhere. So could we not create a better experience of them just getting everything all in one go? It creates another stream of revenue for us. It helps our patients get better results and understand like what they need specifically from us. And ultimately, they're happy. We're happy because they're not getting like crappy fish oil that's been, rancid sitting on the shelf at GNC or something like that. And, the clients, they get the best products and they don't have to be inconvenienced to travel to the store and trying to figure out which product it is, when there's an 18-year-old person behind the counter and just trying to sell them some stuff for commission. So when you're, properly executing these kind of strategies, you can really ethically create your patient journey to be a powerhouse. And the more touch points that you have in there and the better service that you're getting and the more that you're creating and advocating for us, a lot of it's about prevention. Those people are going to be diehards for you. The chances of them going or trying to find somewhere else is going to be really, really challenging because they'll feel indoctrinated and connected to you on multiple levels. So to give you guys some context in terms of multiple streams of revenue, there's 8 main priorities that I use: therapy, personal training, supplements, info-based products. So like I put together stuff like training programs for people who can't commit to coming in because they live farther away, that kind of stuff. Workshops, lifestyle-based services. A lot of these are kind of joint ventures that we have connected, like meal prep services and that sort of thing. Naturopathic medicine, functional med, and that kind of stuff. We have continued education that we use primarily for our internal systems to train therapists, personal trainers, and staff on. And then we've got like other affiliates that are coming in. So affiliates in terms of like we have JVs, so there's certain things in the area, but the primary thing is that you don't necessarily need all of these. And depending on your business, I can't tell you, specifically what ones are the best for you right away. But the big thing is that you want to have, just like ways to get new clients in, like we talked about before, we want to have multiple streams of revenue coming in, because it's going to help you create a better experience for your patient, have better retention, and also allow you to have just other streams in case something goes wrong. You can have a higher return on your ad spend to acquire a new patient, which is really one of the most critical driving factors to how fast you can grow, how profitable you will be. And, as a result, your business is just more profitable, you're easier to grow, and you're more resilient to fluctuations in terms of the economy. So that's why ultimately, getting new patients is not just the only factor here, but we want to be able to retain them. We want to be able to look at creating other revenue streams to help with retention and also grow your revenues, your profitability, and so on. So don't just think about having to get new patients all of the time. That's obviously one massive contributing factor. But if we can retain people, and while we're retaining them, they're buying more often of stuff that is going to help benefit them, then everyone wins at the end of the day. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. Let me know if you have multiple streams of income. Love to be able to hear some of your guys, what you're doing right now to create a better patient experience, retain people, and get other streams of income. Thanks, guys.